Okay, I'm resetting the van. My next trip is going to be North Carolina. Murphy, North Carolina is the nearest town. I mentioned on my other video where there's this huge forest. And I mean, it's so big that this guy that was in trouble with the police, and I mean really big trouble, like a bomber or something, went out there and hid for like 7 years. It, the only time after 7 years, after a couple of years, they stopped looking for him. And sure enough, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, like 7 years later, they a cop caught him. I guess he was picking through a dumpster or something. He had snuck back into the town, and I guess he was so tired of being out there and you know living in the rain, and I guess he couldn't even have a cabin or whatever, just to stay stealthy and nobody could find him. But apparently he got lazy or sick of it because he got caught in the town of Murphy, North Carolina. Anyhow, the point is, I heard about this, and I heard this was some documentary I heard on the Discovery Channel. Anyhow, either that or History Channel. This was happened a long time ago, and I thought, whoa, big forest, cool, somewhere you can park, and like what was happening to me in Colorado, where the forest ranger kept rolling up on me and asking me, "Are you living in your van? You're just supposed to be out here for 14 days, and then you have to leave for a month, and you can't come back." And so I ended up having to leave Colorado because I got lazy. Actually, I was parking in the same space, day after day, week after week, and it worked for like 3 months. But and I was going to leave when it got really cold anyhow, but I had to leave early because they were chasing me around. I mentioned it in my other video, one of my first videos on this series. I've made so many videos, deleted so many videos, and it's a shame too because I can't find them. Some of them I wanted back, but heck, when I go to Murphy, Colorado, we'll have just as cool videos coming out. And so I'm reconfiguring the van. Let me show you what I've pulled. The cot out. I'm still using the cot system, but I'm going through, cleaning up. These things are excellent to have. This is one for like soap and deodorant and this is all backup stuff. I have another one, a bag that I carry around. Matter of fact, that's it next to the trash can. It's a little crumpled up bag. It belonged to a skill saw, and it zips up and it's waterproof. So I actually have my toothbrush, toothpaste, my medicine, like I take blood pressure medicine, everything. That's the carry around. This one here goes underneath the cot, and it is for, double supply. Like if I run out of toothpaste and I'm in the forest, I don't want to drive all the way back to the town. I can just reach in there and, have an extra supply. Or if I lose something, that happens. And this is tools, everything you can possibly have. Need. Like there's jumper cables. That's going to be my. I'm going to get one of those cans of gas, and that this thing here is for cooking. It's takes one of those little bottles of gas. This is a canteen for water, and I've got extra stuff. I always carry extra water. It's very important. Now this stuff here, this is a lot of stuff I've taken out. This stuff here, I don't care where I'm going. This always stays in the van in case I have a flat tire. Makes perfect sense. That's my little library. It's hard to see. It's still a mess. I'm still cleaning up, rearranging stuff, getting it ready. Tools everywhere. Like there's behind that garbage can, that's a toolbox. And then there's another toolbox in the garage that I took out just to get it out of my way while I reset. So that board right there is bolted to the ground. I keep my cot away from the street side. So if I'm parked on the curb. My cot is closest to the curb, so that if somebody comes around and hits me in the back or the side, the roadside, I'm furthest away and don't get my head bashed in. You know, that's if you're stealth camping and somebody backs into your van, or you're on the road and parked on the side of the road. You always park driver's side out to the road and passenger side into the curb, so I keep the cot on the curb side. So that piece of wood there is bolted down, and then I run, see there's a piece of it, a wire or a rope, and I actually tie the cot down so that if I hammer the brakes, my cot isn't sliding around, or if I roll over it, it'll tip if I'm not properly level. So that keeps the cot in place. I'm actually using it right now. It's in the study because we have house guest, and I've been staying in the guest bedroom. So here's another thing I wanted to show you. Because I don't run extra batteries, you know, I don't have solar, I got the one battery, you know, for the van. I think it's important to have, you know, light. At night you're always in the dark, and so I have to use like D cell and C cell batteries. So I have this is excellent. It is fluorescent light that runs on 3 D cell batteries, and I've had this for a long time, and it works really good. Works good, lasts a long time. I like that. You can read with this thing, and because it's a tiny little fluorescent light, it doesn't use near as much power. But you always need one of these. I mean, if you're working on the van or something and it's dark, or you need to find something, you got to have one of these big guys. I think that's very important. Now, of course, this is always handy to have one of these right there where you need it. Right close as, you know, like even in your pocket sometimes, or up on the dashboard, somewhere where you can grab for it real quick. And you can do it in the dark. You always put it somewhere where you can get at it in the dark. Now, I've got one of those little plastic kind. I think you can see that underneath there, that red one. That's also helpful because they got a little hanger on it, and I hang them on those hooks. You see that hook? And it's kind of like a plastic chandelier for inside the van. I actually keep 2 or 3 of them, but because I'm not on the road right now, I'm not using them so much, because that wears out the battery. They don't last real long. They take tiny little batteries. But when I am out on the road, I keep a couple of those handy. Always, you know, different sizes and types, because you will use them all. Now, another thing I think is very important to have, this is a screen, and it goes over the window like this. And what you do is you just hang it over the top like this, and then slam the van door shut, and it holds it in place, and you can sit here in the seat. When I'm on the road, this seat's turned around so that it's facing backwards, and that's my living room. So that's all real important, having something where the bugs can't get in, but you can keep the window open. And you always need a utility knife with a good sheath, because stuff ends up getting wet, it's humid, so you get a nice good sheath and you don't have to keep sharpening it. Like this needs sharpened real bad. I didn't get this sheath right away, and then when I realized my nice Brazilian knife was starting to rust out, I had a friend who made this give it to me, or I traded him for something. I always trade down for some reason. I'm not real good at that. This is also very handy to have when you're out like in the forest. You're forever getting garbage in the van. You can't, you know, I mean, you could probably go to a car wash. I've done it before, where you use their vacuum cleaner, you know, the industrial one. But without having that, this is also really handy to have. Okay, and I guess you can see that got my tobacco for smoking. I trying desperately to stop smoking, and it's easier said than done. So what I've gone is I've got this roll your own kind, and it's really kind of a pain, and it takes like 2 or 3 tries. And I've gone down from smoking a pack a day to like smoking 3 of them because it's such a, pain to get one right. But I even want to quit that. I'm really, really hating this bad habit, and I'm getting to that age where, you better change your wicked ways or it's going to catch up and kill you. Okay, so I hope everybody's well. I'm just trying to get ready for this big move. New adventure, going to the forest near Murphy, North Carolina. Yeah, and I'll check back in with you as soon as I get some more information. See ya!